Angel Reese sees Team USA Olympic future with Caitlin Clark arriving sooner than expected. A low-key training camp offered a clear signal that USA basketball is no longer waiting for the future. Angel Reese arrived at her first senior national team camp knowing the Los Angeles Olympics were still years away, yet the message inside the gym was unmistakable. Team USA's long-term vision is already in motion, and the Chicago Sky forward believes the next generation is being trusted sooner than ever to help carry it forward. The December training camp, led by head coach Kara Lawson and managing director Sue Bird, served as an early checkpoint on the road to the 2026 FIBA Women's World Cup and, ultimately, the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. For Reese, the experience confirmed that USA basketball is intentionally weaving its most dynamic young players into the program well ahead of the sport's most anticipated global stage. "They didn't just select us for no reason," Reese said. "They know that we can bring something to the table." "It's everybody's dream," Reese said of the Olympics. "You want to play for your country. I think 2028 is really important because you get to play in your country and play in LA. A changing guard without losing the standard." Team USA is coming off a dramatic 67-66 gold medal win over France at the Paris Olympics, a game anchored by veteran leaders such as Aya Wilson and Breanna Stewart. Those stars are still expected to factor into future plans, but the absence of longtime cornerstone Diana Taurasi and the natural evolution of the roster have created space for a new core to grow. Sue Bird has been careful to strike a balance in her messaging. She has emphasized the value of experience in high-pressure Olympic moments while also suggesting that the women's team could become one of the defining storylines of the Los Angeles Games. That vision is difficult to separate from the sport's rising visibility, driven in large part by players like Reese, Clark, and Buchers. Reese noted that building relationships was a central focus of camp. She spent significant time alongside Buchers, with both players viewing the opportunity as a foundation rather than a final audition. Buchers echoed that sentiment, saying the young group wants to bring the energy, soak up everything and grow. Reese's trajectory suggests she is ready for that responsibility. A national champion at LSU, she was selected 7th overall in the 2024 WNBA draft and quickly emerged as one of the league's most productive forwards. Across her early WNBA career, she has averaged a double-double, set a rookie rebounding record, earned All-Star honors, and secured a spot on the All-Rookie team. For Reese, the decision to spend her offseason with USA basketball instead of resting was intentional. The goal is clear, even if the timeline is long. The road to LA 28 will involve competition, patience, and difficult roster choices. But after her first taste of Team USA, Reese is confident the future has already been invited into the room and is determined to help keep Olympic gold at home. Angel Reese has always played basketball with her eyes forward. Even when the spotlight burns hottest in the present, under arena lights, amid rival chants, inside the noise of social media, her gaze has a habit of drifting toward what comes next. That instinct, that sense of inevitability, is what makes her recent reflections on Team USA's Olympic future so compelling. Because when Reese talks about the road ahead, one name keeps appearing alongside her own, Caitlin Clark. And in Reese's telling, that shared future may be arriving far sooner than anyone once imagined. For years, the Olympic conversation in women's basketball followed a familiar rhythm. Established stars carried the banner, legends lingered just long enough to pass the torch, and the next generation waited patiently for its turn. Reese and Clark were once considered part of that waiting line, brilliant, disruptive talents who would someday redefine Team USA, but not quite yet. That timeline has shifted. Dramatically. The change didn't happen overnight, but it feels sudden because of how fast both players have bent the game to their will. Reese, with her relentless rebounding, bruising interior presence, and unapologetic swagger, brings a physicality that feels timeless yet modern. Clark, with her gravity-defying range and quarterback vision, stretches defenses until they snap. Different styles, different energies, but together, they represent something unmistakable: inevitability. Angel Reese sees it. And more importantly, she believes it. From college firestorms to global vision, Reese's journey has always been rooted in confrontation, challenging expectations, challenging opponents, challenging narratives. College basketball didn't just showcase her skills, it amplified her voice. She became a symbol of confidence, of self-definition, of refusing to shrink for comfort. That same confidence now shapes how she talks about international basketball. For Reese, the Olympic dream isn't distant or abstract. It's concrete. It's tactical. It's about fit. She understands what Team USA has traditionally valued: toughness, versatility, mental resilience, and an ability to thrive under suffocating pressure. In her own game, Reese sees those qualities already formed. And when she considers Caitlin Clark, she doesn't see just a scorer, she sees a solution. Clark's arrival, Reese suggests, changes the math. Olympic basketball is different from the WNBA and different again from college. The spacing is tighter. The pace is ruthless. Defenses collapse faster, and scoring windows vanish in a blink. A player who can score from the logo doesn't just add points. She rewrites defensive schemes. Reese knows that kind of gravity opens space inside, creates second-chance chaos, and punishes teams that hesitate. In other words, Clark doesn't just belong in the future of Team USA. She accelerates it. Respect forged through rivalry. What makes Reese's perspective especially powerful is the history between them. Rivalries in sports are often reduced to hostility, but the Reese-Clark dynamic has always carried a deeper undercurrent, respect sharpened by competition. They've pushed each other into the national consciousness, not by avoiding conflict, but by meeting it head-on. Reese has never shied away from acknowledging Clark's brilliance. In fact, she often frames it as fuel. The higher Clark raises the bar, the harder Reese drives herself. That mutual escalation has done more than entertain fans. It has prepared both players for the kind of pressure the Olympics demand. Reese understands that Team USA doesn't just need talent, it needs players comfortable with being watched, judged, and expected to win by double digits every night. Clark has lived inside that pressure cooker. Reese has thrived in it. Together, they look less like prospects and more like solutions. A changing guard, not a broken one. There's a temptation to frame this moment as a passing of the torch, but Reese resists that narrative. She doesn't see Team USA's future as a rejection of its past. She sees continuity. Veterans have built a culture of excellence so strong that newcomers must meet it at full speed or get left behind. Reese believes both she and Clark are ready, not because they're perfect, but because they're adaptable. They listen, they learn, and they bring something new without demanding the spotlight. That humility matters on the Olympic stage. Reese knows that minutes aren't guaranteed, roles are earned.